All right, this is your dynamic notes installer video for an existing project. I cannot account for everyone's project, so you may have to do a little bit of tweaking to get it to work. So anyway, this is FPS Game Starter Kit, fairly popular. And anyway, we are going to use it in this today. So just like before, we want to go plugins, and you want to do DYN, make sure that it's activated right here, Dynamic Notes System. And we're going to go to Tools, and you're going to go to Journal Setup Installer. If any of these fields are left blank, it will, except for the player character itself, it'll create them. It'll create a controller if you don't have one. It'll create the interaction interface. It'll create a mapping for you. Um, but if it's an existing project, you're already going to have it. So you're going to use default pickup, which is going to be what we set up here. So in in the FPS game starter kit, I know where the stuff is here because I've done this enough trying to get it to work. So you want to select your base character, select your actual player character. Now you want the controller. We need a controller, the BP player controller. At least in this case, it's control. Any controller you want, you can use, but it has to be the one that you set in game mode, etc. So there we go. So we set that up there. And now it says project interaction. So in this case, there's already an interface that exists right here, the BPI interact. So we're going to use that one right there. And then we are looking for the input system. And the reason I'm doing that is because I can't account for what everyone calls it. In this case, it's input mapping keyboard and mouse. This is the only way I can get it to add it, is if it knows which one it is. If it finds one of these keys is already being used, it will not add it again and leave it like a blank input. It'll just ignore it. In this case, he's already using E as interact, so we're just going to leave it that way. If you're using something else like F, you can change it right here, and it just won't add it. But if you leave it as E and you're not using E, but you're using F, it will add E as an interact. So just change it to whatever you're using if you need to. So then we're going to install support. And here you go. This tells you everything that it did. If there's any errors in here, it should tell you if something didn't do it and why. Hopefully, anyway. Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to close these out. Now you're going to hit play and you're going to get an error, at least in this case. Yours may work right away, but in this one I know it will, because it has to change this red here, connect your own interaction and cast the notes. So in this case, his interaction is a little different. And this is where everybody's project is going to be different. You're going to have to read the notes for the project you have. So it did add the interface, but it didn't add the node. So we want to delete this and we want to use this one. In this case, he's already using, if you look at his interface, if you go to the project and you look at his interface, he's already using, looking for a player controller. So you can delete that. That goes there. That goes there. Then you just want to use the controller here. And there you go. So you've now fixed this particular one. I'm showing you this because your project may be similar. You may need to do something similar right here. And again, I can't account for all projects, but if yours doesn't work, I'll include a link to a longer video of manually installing this so you can go through step by step and see what may be missing. Not just here, but anything missing from the default pickup, for the notes, to the controller and the player. Anything that might be missing, you can go step by step and find it. So anyway, so now you should be set to be able to go into your plugins folder, Dynamic Notebook, and then what are we looking for? We are looking for pickups. There we go. I'm going to drag that in there, and that is just one of the pickups that I made. You can test the others if you want, put them in there too. So now you walk up to it, grab it.
Good news. I can help.
Open your journal, and there it is. And that is how you add that to an existing project. Hopefully yours will go that simple and you don't have too many issues. Now, in this particular case, I'll only show you just because this is the FPS controller kit, and some of you might be using it. Let me go to my pickup base here. So if you go to the interact collision, drop it down here, and instead of world dynamic, you change it to interactive actor. This has nothing to do with actually using my system. This just is using with his. This way now when you look at it, it says press E to interact. That just, all that does is allow the system, his system, to see that it's something that you can interact with. So that was just a nice little thing right there and easy to do. So there you have it. Quick and easy setup.